Yo, another one. Yeah. Another change. Another one. Adam Miles out. Come on, United!
Good evening and welcome to
Come on, yeah.
between Daventry Town and Coventry United. The teams tonight starting with our visitors is goal number 1, Dan Moore. Number 2, Harry Sawyer. Number 3, Danny Fraser. Number 4, Shay Palmer. Number 5 is Chris Cox. Number 6 is Lewis Wilson. 7 is Cody Mullen. 8 is Charlie Bolton. 9 is Ryan Walker. 10 is Becky and Wednesday. 11 is Cameron Jones. Substitutes Coventry. Number 12 Rick Brown. Number 14 is Riley Wiley. 15 is Isaac Adiscoke. 16 has Ken from the team sheet. And we will confirm that in a little while if it comes up. And 17 is Jason Keynes. The heroes of purple tonight starting in goal. Number 1, Lee Hatcher. Number 2, Aidan Brooks. Number 3,
We're ready to go back in the United Counties League here on Coventry United TV. We are live from the Master Abrasive Stadium, the home of Daventry Town Football Club, for another evening of scintillating non-league football. Liam Cook comes to you live from Northamptonshire. We are just about to get set. Coventry United in their red and green home strip, and the purples of Daventry, as you would expect, all in purple. Let's get into your starting lineup, kicking off with Coventry United. Starting for the red and greens this evening: number 1, Dan Moore; 2, Harry Sawyer; 3, Danny Fraser; number 4, Shay Palmer; 5, captain Chris Cox; number 6, Lewis Wilson; 7, Cody Mullen; number 8, Charlie Faulkner; 9, Ryan Harkin; 10, Benji Adamarco; and number 11, Cameron Dunn. Substitutes for the red and greens, we've finally got them cracked down now. Number 12, Luke Downs; 14, Riley DeVoyle; 15, Isaac Adagoke; 16 is Charlie Shaw; and number 17, Joe Cairns. And therefore, Daventry this evening: number 1, Lewis Patching; 2, Adam Prince; 3, Tom Iachafano; 5, Dan Childs; 6, Luke Knight; 7, Archie May Corcoran; 8, Carter Price; 9, Josh Yaboa; 10 is Lloyd Buckby, and number 11, Reese Holmes, as well as number 17, Corey Burke. And we are now underway here at the Master Abrasive Stadium. A lot of shopping and changing in the Coventry United team sheet this evening. Nahemi Azazi was set to be starting. He now unfortunately has been withdrawn. Stanley Dew pulled up in the warm-up. Adam Marzer was set to take his place, but has been unable to make the bench. So Charlie Shaw has been drafted in at the last minute. Coventry United with an immediate free kick in the centre circle after just 30 seconds. And it will be Danny Fraser to launch it in. Coventry United looking to get back to what brought them to the dance after that heartbreaking defeat in the FA Vase on Saturday. This is their bread and butter, the league, and their quest for promotion. It's in towards Chris Cox, leaping header by Iachafano, able to bring it down, clears it as far as Cameron Dunn, the edge of the area, and pulls out a brilliant save. It were in the first minute from Lewis Patching. Hook back in, and a glancing header from Benji Adamarco. How about that for a response? Within 90 seconds of the kickoff, Coventry United with their first attack. And would you believe it, it's a header from Adamarco. It's harsh on Patcher. He made a brilliant diving save to the right-hand side, but on the very next whip in, Benji Adamarco connecting cleanly, bouncing across the keeper, and Coventry United already take the lead and are firmly back in the groove. So Coventry United lead by 1-0 through that Adamarco header. Perfect way to silence any doubters. It's over a throw in front of the Coventry United technical area now for Daventry in the hands of Adam Print. Won mid-air by Cameron Dunn, who forced the initial save from Patching. Header on by Hones. Cleared by Shea Palmer. Now it's with Charlie Faulkner. Harking offside. Adamarco, isn't he? Will give chase, and it's brought into the grateful grasp of Patching. Cleared upfield, and Holmes trying to get to the seconds, and it's just flicked out of play by Harry Sawyer. No nonsense stuff from the right back. If in doubt, get it out. Reese Holmes heads over to take the set piece. Daventry looking for an immediate reprieve, and there's a little bit too much jostling for position. Cody Mullen and Josh Yeboah getting too close for comfort for the referee's liking. Both men given direct instructions. Keep your hands off each other. Well, they're going to listen to that. And they're immediately back to it as Holmes sets up. Towards that far post, and it's a real scramble in the area. Can Daventry get the shot away? No, they can't. Cleared as far as Archie May, a former Coventry United player, and scrambling clear, striding away as Cameron Dunn feels a little touch from behind from Lloyd Buckby, enough for the referee to blow the whistle. Well, if you look up the words perfect start in the dictionary, you'll see a photo of this very scenario for Coventry United. Less than 90 seconds in, Benji Adamarco putting the red and greens in front. We've had 4 minutes at the Master Abrasive Stadium. Daventry Town 0, Coventry United 1. Expectations among the Purple Army weren't exactly high before this match from those who we spoke to. But they would have been hoping for a better start than that. Fraser. Charlie Faulkner rolls off his boot and it's stuck into touch. Carter Price keeping Coventry at bay, but the Red and Greens will be hungry for more after that initial strike. Here's Adamarco, and Faulkner may well have been offside anyway, but jumps over the ball. I think he was expecting the run through down the left of Danny Fraser, who wasn't in a position to assist. The travelling Red and Green Army below us. We're here on the fantastic balcony at the Master Abrasive Stadium, a balcony I called home for a year while covering Coventry United ladies who played their home matches in Daventry back in 2018 during their title-winning season in the FA Women's Championship. The Daventry attack resulted in a throw-in level with the penalty area, which will be taken by Corey Burke. His brother Corey, a mainstay in the Coventry Spinks team until the departure of their manager John Woodward. The throw is to Burke, off balance and skims it into touch. We'll let you know what's going on around the professional leagues when we can. Plenty of action in the Premier League. As far as we can see, no goals. Bournemouth taking on Brentford. What a fantastic game that will be. Everton against Burnley in the James Tarkowski and Sean Dyche derby. It's Leeds versus Sunderland. Well, in the late kick-off at 8:15, it's Wolves versus Terry Anderson and Luke Morton's beloved Liverpool. It's a ferocious volley on by Price towards Hones and quickly whipped away by Shea Palmer. Here's Adamarco. Runs into trouble as a collision and Adamarco flies over. But it's Archie May who stays down, and the players in purple and red getting a little too hot under the collar. Hopefully calmer heads will prevail. And the physio is called over. The manager calling for knee height against Benji Adamarco, and he is going to be called over by the referee. And the referee, in no uncertain terms, telling Luke Knight to button it. Some rather angry reactions from the number 6. And Daventry could be playing themselves into danger here. It's a yellow card only for Benji Adamarco. And sigh of relief for Coventry United. Of course, they lost Charlie Faulkner early on Saturday in the FA Vars game against AFC Stoneham. It really changed the trajectory of the day. It looks like all players are on their feet and in slightly better moods. Terry Anderson barking at his players, get back to it, get your game phases on, get back into the groove. It's a high one into the area and Dan Moore. There was contact from Yeboah, referee feels not enough. So warrant a free kick. Coventry get underway again with a roll through to Harry Sawyer. Avoids Hones. And you start to think this game's going to get a little bit tasty. Faulkner punted clear by the captain, Luke Knight. And sent home by Shea Palmer, a real mainstay in the Coventry United team after his switch from Worcester City. And Cox caught as he cleared the ball. Yeboah just with a little nick on the toe perhaps. And credit to the referee, he has had a handle on this game so far and he's really needed to. And the referee has had enough of the Daventry voices. And again, asserting himself that he wants no backchat in this game. It's one of those games where you start to think sin bins could be implemented. From the free kick, Coventry United stacking in. And it's hooked out on that far side by Lewis Wilson. It's the first time we've seen him start in this deeper midfield role. Of course, he started his career as a striker with the likes of Northampton Town. Came to Coventry United as a forward. And the throw comes to nothing. Bounces out off Corcoran for a Coventry United goal kick. And this is the first goal in the United Counties League this evening. Ayleston Park taking on Yaxley. We don't have score updates on that game, nor Leicester Nirvana versus Bugbrook. A huge match for the Badgers in that one. Got Manchester at home to Newport Pagnell, and Lutterworth will take on Averson in a huge match for the playoff picture. We'll keep a very close eye on that one. It's Danmore to clear. Wilson claims the ball mid-air. Benji Adamarco looking right to Charlie Faulkner. The clearance is made along the left wing towards Reese Holmes. Headed clear by Harry Sawyer. Kept alive, but Sawyer again with another emphatic clearance as Lloyd Buckby looking for an option down the left-hand side. Cleared on the far wing. And Print taking his time with this throw. Doesn't want to rush. And Print with the throw to Price. And strikes it straight into no man's land. No purple shirt in that vicinity. Straight over and into touch with a goal kick. Well, Charlie Shaw walking in front of us. He had been set to be rested this evening with a rather nasty collision on Saturday in the FA Vars. He connected rather sternly with the advertising boards. The plan was to give him the night off, ready for Saturday, but with the withdrawal of 3 players from the Coventry United 16, Shaw has been asked to step in. It's a deflected ball by Danny Fraser, headed clear, but off the head now of Charlie Faulkner. Another headed clearance by Luke Knight, and another head on by Charlie Faulkner. Harkin looking messing in there, and it's Dan Childs who returns to sender, and Lewis Patching will end the danger. Quickly distributes down the right hand side, flows over Danny Fraser, and Cox will shepherd it into touch of Bowen, making no real effort to get to the loose pass, and Coventry United have the throw in just shy of their own penalty area. Fraser with a jet-propelled hoof upfield. Fraser chasing the seconds. Charlie Faulkner's got there ahead of Holmes. And what a run this is by Faulkner. Eventually dragged down by the arm by Ichafano. Referee says nothing doing. The whip down the left, flicked on by Holmes, only as far as Palmer. Palmer once again looking to get Coventry United on the front foot, but they can't bring it to feet. Flicked on by Burke. Cox claims and skews it out down the left wing onto the rather fashionable purple dugouts. Certainly changed from the last time I was here at the Master Abrasive Stadium. Headed on by Burke, that throw. Gave him a head sense breaking on. It's a very short one. Burke. A slide by Fraser, able to divert the ball away from its intended target, but Daventry not to be denied. It's a high one into the area over the head of Harry Sawyer, and the home trying to set himself up for the strike. Sawyer's in position and well blocked off by Cody Mullen, allowing Sawyer, I should say, to sprint away. Cox drives through the middle. Dan Childs intercepts. Plays it straight onto the boot of the left back, Danny Fraser. Print brings it back for Daventry. Going distance once more. Archie May is in the area, but he's a couple of yards behind it, and Danmore ends the danger. And the count from the referee, making it clear his authority is undisputed tonight. Mullen. Now Ryan Harkin. Cody Mullen once more missed out on Saturday's FA Vars game against Stoneham, so we'll have fresh legs this evening. Here's Charlie Faulkner. Mullen, short one to Adamarco. Flip back to Cody Mullen, and the referee says get up as Mullen hits the deck. Lloyd Bubby sticking the leg out, but no contact according to the referee. At least not enough to warrant the whistle to be blown. It's ended up back with Dan Moore. Here's Cox. Dunn's free on the left-hand side. Harkin there too. Print does the necessaries, heads it home. After that early burst in this game, the goal, the potential red card in the view of Daventry, it has calmed down somewhat, but this is a red-hot fixture in the United Counties League, and Faulkner leaping into the back of Archie May, resulting in a Daventry free kick halfway between box and halfway line. Well, hopefully the Wi-Fi signal was a little stronger than it was on Saturday. We had some major issues with the commentary on Saturday afternoon. We do apologise for that. Hopefully it's a little bit better out there tonight. Archie May standing over the ball against his own club, certainly out of shooting position. The likes of Yeboah in there, Carter Price on the far right side too. Referee gives the go ahead. And May sizes up his options. He does go for goal and pulls out a smart stop by Moore. And the secondary cross denied by Harry Sawyer. Charlie Faulkner, high one up the right. Harkin ducks. Allowing the seconds to fall to Cameron Dunn. It was sent onto his knees. Luke Knight, forceful stuff from the skipper. At the expense of a Coventry United throw, which Faulkner, I think, is going to leave for Harry Sawyer, is he? Yes, he is. And Adam Marco. It was a poor first touch and resulted in a Daventry throw-in. 15 yards further afield. Here, Chafano told to get on with it. Headed back where it came from by Wilson. Swing and a miss by Corey Burke. Flogged upfield by Knight. Now comes Dan Moore and Fraser covering off Yeboah. Into the grateful grasp of the former Worcester City shot stopper. Moore looks for Adam Marco long. Adam Marco enough on it to Ryan Harkin. The defender stops him in his tracks. Clearance headed where it came from by Chris Cox. Neither team really able to maintain possession at this stage of the match. It's a clustered area of the field on the far side. Whipped on the volley from Carter Price. Cox says, anything you can do, I can do better. It's not quite better though, as it bounces out for the throw-in. And there's been a goal in the game at God Manchester, and it's a big goal for Coventry United. God Manchester 1, Newport Pagnell 0. Newport still harbouring hopes of a playoff run. Daventry again calling for the whistle as there was a trip on the way through on Corey Burke. Again falls on deaf ears. United reclaim. Done. Dan Moore. See the slightest of flicks from Lewis Wilson. Faulkner snatches it from the feet of Carter Price. Price is back to pick up the pieces and curtail another Coventry United counter. It's with Tom Iachafano down the left wing. Look for the cross into the area. And it's a block from Harry Sawyer, which resulted in a throw-in. Iachafano just avoids the leap in of Cody Mullen. Took his eyes off the ball though, and a slide out for the throw in by Charlie Faulkner, level with the Coventry penalty area. Sustained period of pressure for the first time this evening from the Purples. Iachafano covering off as it took a deflection. It bounces off the corner flag out for the throw in. Harry Sawyer with the final touch. Hones offering himself short. But Iachafano has grander plans in mind. And the throw from Iachafano. Head away the near post by Shea Palmer. Kept alive and back with Iachafano. It's another delivery by Iachafano. And Yeboah tried to get there in front of Moore. He did, but to no avail. Out for the goal kick. 19 gone. Here at the Master Abrasive Stadium. Daventry Town 0, Coventry United 1 goal on 80 seconds. For Coventry United's number 10, Benji Adamarco off the bounce. Adamarco's going to be up for it again. Is he with the head? No, it's Lewis Wilson who meets it. Iachafano high into the night sky. Palmer. Bobby under pressure, but flicks it to the right. Burke, over that being made by Print. Pulls behind for Carter Price. Price fancies his chances, stings the gloves down to the left, Dan Moore. A corner to follow for a Daventry side who are starting to sink their teeth into this United Counties League tie. Burke offering short. Moore gets his men ready. Luke Knight flying over the header, didn't connect. Sent high into the sky by Danny Fraser. Hones. Yeboah the target, and that's a chance for Knight! Had goal written all over it, but somehow bounces past the far post. And Terry Anderson screaming at his players. He wants better. United have lost their pace, have lost their ingenuity at this stage. Another clearance by Moore. Both teams heading from one end to another. Cox eventually brought down by Cameron Dunn. Bounces past Benji Anamarco. And again, Dan Childs thumping it. It's like a game of rugby at the moment. Anamarco challenging from behind. Enough from Adam Print in front of the hub stand. Referee marks the position for Danny Fraser to take this throw in. The only real chance Coventry United have had came from the goal. But it's not about how many chances you have, it's about how many goals you score. At the moment, United are winning in that aspect. The flying routine again falls flat for the Red and Greens. Yeboah trying to force it out off Chris Cox. It goes through the legs of Cox, and Yeboah feels that it was the Coventry captain who got the last touch. It's a decision that he doesn't agree with, but one that the linesman is sticking with. Throw from Fraser. Print nodded into the midfield by Charlie Faulkner. Mullen. Anamarco looked to meet the overlap of Cameron Dunn, but they may get another crack at it. Cody Mullen, Anamarco, Faulkner's up there, and he's trying to prize it through the legs of Tommy Echafano, and he did, but the referee is giving a free kick, a tad soft perhaps. There was a couple of digs from Anamarco to try and poke the ball through Echafano. I think it's actually just a problem with the boots more than anything as he remains on the deck. Patching giving the go-ahead to take the free kick. About 20 yards shy off the halfway line. There it goes from the Daventry number 1. Header out to the danger zone from Cox. Mullen shields from Yeboah. Anamarco to Mullen. Volley onto the chest of Tommy Echafano, who won the initial foul, and the distribution down the left doesn't go the way of Echafano. Skews to the left. Sawyer. Wilson tried to play it too tight along the line. Out it goes for the throw-in deep into their own half of Daventry. Patching. Leaping header by Cox, commanding the air like the RAF. Done. It's like a torpedo down the left-hand side. Harking the target. Carter Price looking to end the danger, and it is emphatically ended by Dan Childs. Set the circle is Harry Sawyer. Now Mullen. Fresh legs after that break on Saturday. Anamarco, who got the goal with the head within 90 seconds. And struck at the chest of Childs by Cameron Dunn. Of course, it was Dunn's strike that was the first ever of the game, and Yeboah just tripping over his own feet there as Cox is able to marshal it into touch. 25 minutes gone in the United Counties League Premier Division South. Daventry Town 0, Coventry United 1. Big chance for Coventry United to re-establish themselves after that FA Vars exit on Saturday. Elsewhere in the Premier Division South, Elson Park 0, Yaxley 0, Godmanchester 1, Newport Pagnell 0, and Lutterworth 0, Atherstone 0. Elson kicked off at 8 o'clock, which is what their score didn't show up initially. But the game between Leicester Nirvana and Budbrook St Michael's, we don't have updates on that one. So we'll have a look on the socials when we can. And Marco wrestling with the number 5 in Childs and loses that particular battle. Fraser, it's behind Adam Marco. Childs again. Daventry at the moment are keeping Coventry United pretty quiet. Will that last? It won't last as Ryan Harkins through for his 30th goal this season. The goalkeeper gets his body behind it and out scrambles Iachafano. Sawyer. Now Lewis Wilson. It may have been a task too far for Harkin, but Iachafano takes no chances, nods it out on this near side. United will regroup firmly in Purple's territory. Adamarco. And now Wilson with the delivery. It looked for a moment, it may have been sneaking all the way through, but it flashes across the face of goal. Print into the back of Ryan Harkin and towards the shrubbery on the far side. And a throw in for Daventry. And we just had our first goal in the Premier League this evening, and there's a goal which Terry Anderson won't be happy with. Everton are in front. Goal from, of course it had to be, against his old club. James Tarkovsky has just scored for Everton. Adam Marco putting Childs under pressure, and Adam Marco may just prize it away here. Charles goes to the ground. Referee says no, but it's crucially carried by Patching as the dust settles in the Daventry area. Awkward bounce at the back, headed up rather than out by Danny Fraser from the goal kick. Cox. Cameron Dunn. It wasn't going out for our throw-in, so Childs has to try and find a purple shirt. Now appeals against Cody Mullen for a lead. I don't know if he did anything wrong there, actually. And safely back with Moore, who rolls the feet of Harry Sawyer. A few bubbles on the Daventry pitch, nowhere near as bad as some of the pitches we've played on this season. Sawyer, past one, tried to play through the legs of Iachafano. He's not going to be beaten like that again. May. Palmer says, get out of my area. Knight wrestling for position with Benji Adamarco and gets the better of the pacey winger, and Chris Cox hits it against his own arms. He tries to control on the halfway line. Free kick in the centre circle to Daventry. Coventry United know that a victory tonight will take them back into third place above Histon on goal difference. They're looking up at the likes of Marchtown United. The goal, if they can't win the league, which at the moment looks like it's the Neatons to lose, is to finish second and get the 2 home games, potential home games, in the playoffs. Deep delivery by Patching, straight through, goal kick. Daventry have enjoyed better possession than the red and green so far, but have done little with it. Daventry at the moment in 14th place. 14 points clear of Budbrook St Michael's, who are now up to 19th in the relegation zone. So they won't be looking over their shoulders too much, but Daventry's hopes of challenging for that top 5 not quite coming to fruition this season. Dan Moore. Mullen challenges in midfield but gets it away to Adamarco. It's Mullen again, formerly of the league leaders Nuneaton Town. Still going Cody Mullen, great drive, and Charlie Ford just runs beyond that ball. Played behind the number 8, awkward control for Holmes, but he's done enough to force it up towards Yeboah. Sent into the night sky by Cox. Yeboah forces the ball through Cox, and that's with Carter Price. Price. Print makes the overlap. Here is Adam Print. Burke the target, Coventry United clear. But not as far as they would have hoped. It's with Price. And now sprinting into relative safety, Cameron Dunn. Benji Anamarco trying to leap past the defender. Well, he did, but he got there a little too late, patching with the volley. Headed behind by Lewis Wilson, but to the grateful feet of Harry Sawyer, formerly of Rugby Borough, who came up through the playoffs in this league last season. And that's not the best of balls you'll see from Danny Fraser tonight. Sent high and wide out for the throw-in over the Hobbs stand. Print as Daventry get back underway. Pinballing around the midfield. And the slide into the chest of Charlie Faulkner, who can't believe the free kick for handball has been given against him. The arms were by the side, not in an unnatural position. Hones. And May, it's a delightful ball for Tom Iachafano. Look for the pullback, twice fails. Cody Mullen diverts out for the corner. Reese Hones will head over to take for Daventry, who need to try and make use of their opportunities. Yeboah trying to crowd out Dan Moore, and again it's Yeboah and Mullen. They've been warned once. It's in by Hones. Return to sender by the gloves of Dan Moore. Hones fancies another, cuts in on Chris Cox and lets the ball get away from him. Harry Sawyer just gets in between player and ball. Well, thankfully those advertising boards are a lot softer than the ones that Charlie Shaw landed in on Saturday. And the Daventry fans to our right begging for Harry Sawyer to be sent off. Somehow I don't think that's going to be in the referee's playbook at the moment. And Hones gets a ticking off from the man in black. Nothing more. 13 to go until half-time. Still 1-2 the red and greens through Benji Anamarco in the second minute. Dan Moore. Wilson gets his head to it first. The second's headed on by Charlie Faulkner. Out on this near side towards Reese Hones. Hones loses possession to Harry Sawyer. Deflected towards Benji Anamarco. Off the head of Knight. Firmly cleared by Iachafano. Yeboah's up there. Who can latch onto this second ball? It's going to be Archie May, but crowded out by red shirts. Cameron Dunn shields from the former Coventry United man. It's done down the centre. Flicked away from the defender by Benji Anamarco and dragged down by the back. And Coventry United get the free kick. Ironic cheers from the travelling red and green army. Carter Price, the man to fall foul of the referee's gaze. And Price, I think you can say, less than pleased that the decision's been given against him. And that verbal war of words will surely fall in the favour of the referee. Indeed it does. Danny Fraser stands on the fringes of the centre circle. Only two back for the red and greens. Let's see what Fraser can muster. It's in towards Shea Palmer and leaps into the back of Luke Knight. I don't think you can say fairer than that. Definite free kick for Daventry. Palmer letting his enthusiasm get the better of him there. We've been waiting to tell you about the Coventry United substitutes. They have changed several times this evening, so apologies to the Daventry Town Club secretary. He's probably been worked ragged tonight with the amount of switches the Red and Greens have made. On the bench for United tonight are Luke Downs, Ronnie Devoyle, Isaac Adigoke, Joe Cairns and Charlie Shaw. It's Cameron Dunn, floats it over the head of Corcoran, and Wilson unleashes it! The keeper does just enough. Wilson, of course, has only got one goal to his credit in the red of Coventry United. If not for the keeper, that would have been number 2. Sawyer. Swept aside by Corcoran. Fancy feet from the number 7. And it's deflected out off Harry Sawyer on this near side for a throw-in. Daventry looking to get back on track. Corcoran. And the little flick on by the number 10, Lloyd Buckby, did nothing to inspire the Daventry assault. And Dan Moore, time wasting already from the Coventry United number 1, inviting Rhys Holmes all the way into his living room. Eventually picks up the ball and it's sent skyward towards Tamir Iachafano, not who I believe Moore was looking to find. Wilson cuts across. Iachafano forced to retreat home. Initially won back by Harkin, but Iachafano races on to the second. And what a slide tackle that was from Cody Mullen. Forceful, ferocious, and gets the throw-in out of it. Absolutely brilliant from Mullen. Well, I have to make sure that ball hasn't popped after a connection like that. But Harry Sawyer will take the throw in. Sawyer. Wilson with a little shove from behind by Archie May, and Coventry have got the throw in. The last touch coming off the former Red and Greens midfielder. Archie May, one of the players drafted in when Coventry United had nothing. After the transition of ownership, the players played for free, the staff worked for free. How far Coventry United have come since those dark days. Daventry able to get it into the midfield following that throw in. Cox able to head it back to Dan Moore, who is going to tell you about, come on, keep coming, keep coming. No, thank you, that's my ball. 8 to go until the break. Still Coventry United lead. With a little bit of gamesmanship. You think Coventry United want to get into half-time to get a few more instructions. Powerful punt upfield from Prince, and Moore waiting for the ball. Sends it skimming to the right-hand side, and Wilson's not going to get there, so lets it go out for the throw-in, which Corcoran will take. Coventry United driven on by their travelling Red and Green Army. Over 100 members of the Coventry United fan base down south in Hampshire on Saturday. Not quite as many tonight, but still a strong following. Rhys Holmes, and looks for Iachafano. Had the chance to hit it. A slide by Harry Sawyer. Was it? No, it was Cody Mullen again. And Iachafano sent out for a goal. Getting Mullen over the last couple of minutes has been infallible. Cox shouts against players. We have to end this contest. We're not good enough at the moment. They may lead by 1-0, but since the goal, United have underwhelmed. Mullen couldn't control. May over the back line. Yeboah can't reach it. Wilson brings it under control. Flicks off the heel of Charlie Faulkner. Carter Price onto this near side. Now it's with May. Faulkner getting stuck in against Iachafano. Eventually it's the veteran left back who gets there. Little love shove from Corcoran on Charlie Faulkner in the afters. Whipped down the right by the centre back. Shea Palmer for Coventry United. Corcoran. Another ferocious volley this time from Danny Fraser. Flicked up by Cameron Dunn. Adam Marco hoping to get there. Childs onto the head of Faulkner. Not losing relative safety by Tamir Iachafano. Handball claims against Shea Palmer fall on deaf ears. And it's Palmer looking to whip it around for Benji Adam Marco. Had it back where it came from by the captain Luke Knight. Palmer. Adam Marco, can he evade catcher from Charles? No, he can't. There was a little arm around the shoulder there of Benji Adam Marco, slowing him up, allowing Iachafano to whip it out to the right-hand side. And the throw-in will follow. Danny Fraser playing it safe, keeping Corey Burke quiet. Prince aiming for Yeboah. Beating in that aerial duel with Shea Palmer. But the seconds fall out to Burke. Corey Burke. into the hands of Dan Moore at the near post. And there's been a goal in Leicestershire. Elston Park lead Yaxley by 1-0. Hardly a surprising scoreline, given that Yaxley struggles. Cox flicks it over the head of Corey Burke and nods it into the ground. It's a Richard Keogh-esque run this from Chris Cox. Was looking for Ryan Harkin, but again, he's not had the service tonight. The crucial intervention made by Dan Childs. Now Tom Iachefano hones the target, flicked on towards Yeboah. Palmer got there first. Faulkner told he had time, but the call came too late, and he's given it away to Lloyd Buckby. The crossing from the right-hand side, diving header away, but another opportunity will come through Lloyd Buckby, whose effort dips over the crossbar. Reminder of Daventry substitutes: Callum Westwood, Bruce Sinosis, Jason Lee, Tommy Crook and Jackson Bedford. They may well need some support from the bench in the second half if they can't find that equalising goal. On the basis of the game, you'd probably say Daventry have earned so far. Burke, stepping with the challenges. Faulkner drives it away from Coventry United. Print. Price onto the chest of Burke, and he was right on the touchline, unable to keep within the fringes of the pitch. We will be going off air for about 10 minutes here on CUTV at half time for a quick drinks break, so get yourself a glass of something cold or a mug of something hot. Get back here for 8:45 for the second half. The throw to the feet of Adamarco. Daventry again not allowing Coventry United a second to breathe. The work rate from Daventry has been excellent. It's stumbled into touch for a throw in front of Terry Anderson's dugout. He will want more from a Coventry United side who are now dreaming of one thing and one thing only. That's the United Counties League's playoffs. Faulkner, now Fraser. It's a high one on left. The touchline for Charlie Faulkner. It just edged the wrong side of the line before it reached the hometown boy, Charlie Faulkner. The throw in out of the hands of Print. Now Corey Burke. Mullen pinballing around that left side, and Mullen, aimless ball along the left flank. Coventry concede the throw in, but it is level with the Daventry box, so a chance to box in the home side. Well, if not for that opening goal from Benji Adamarco, this game could have a very different feel in it. But now driving on Coventry, looking for that second goal. It's Cameron Dunn, he's got shots on him. Wrestling with Iachefano, and then the trip as Iachefano gone away. Cameron Dunn could be headed in the book. And the referee with a word of warning to Dunn. The yellow card, only one we've seen so far. That came from Benji Adamarco just a couple of minutes after his opening goal. This is a place that not only the women's team have called home for Coventry United, but the men's team too. Several fixtures played here with the Butts Park Arena unavailable a few years ago. That massive victory against Worcester City, where Tyler Haddow scored a hat-trick, a very popular memory for the Red and Green Army. And Adamarco beating Charles for pace. It gets loose on this near side, and Iachefano with a good standing tackle. Knight gifts it to Cameron Dunn on the clearance. Charlie Faulkner was looking for a looping ball to Dunn, who wasn't expecting it. Patching gathers. In the last minute of normal time, Daventry looked for the equaliser, headed up rather than out by Cox. Corey Burke has of course got step 4 experience, but won't beat a sliding Danny Fraser. Another throw to follow for Daventry. The throw in to Burke. Print. Downline for Burke. Scuffs the cross. But Price will get another chance. Coventry can't get the ball into safety. It's Corey Birkin from the right-hand side. Diving headed by Cox. Got enough on it. And the job firmly finished by Harry Sawyer. Bounces into the home dugout. And the throw to Adam Print. Print's ball awkward as Wilson went for it and left it. Chest control and clearance by Shea Palmer. Now here Chefano playing a little deeper this evening at left back. Fantastic slide in by Faulkner and keeps it in, or does he? No. There's a little moment of hesitation costing Coventry United on that occasion. Well, it's often the ball's kicked away by your own player. Archie May trying to play ball boy for Iachafano. I don't think he'll have a career in that. And it's knocked down by Buckby. Iachafano couldn't get to the seconds. Interception by Corcoran. Volley by Wilson. Harkin. And May in from the side. Referee says nothing doing. Poked on by Iachafano. Buckby and Holmes stepped away from the balls. Lewis Wilson dances out of danger. And it's safely into the Daventry half for a throw in about 15 yards into their own turf. We have now begun added time. How much there will be, we've not been told. I would say a minimum of 3 minutes. Clearance by patching onto the chest of Cox. Adamarco clearly offside, so halts his run. But Cameron Dunn just trying to pile on the pressure of Print. He's actually kept that ball in. Print trying to be a little too fancy. And now Cameron Dunn in for the left-hand side. It's Adamarco just let it get away from him at a crucial moment. He was in for the second. Well, it's been anything but the prettiest game this evening here at the Master Abrasive Stadium. But it has been an interesting one. I think we can safely say that. The long throw in from Fraser. Adamarco's up there. Head out as far as Cameron Dunn! Through the keeper's hand! Power of plenty from Cameron Dunn. Patching did well to deny him earlier in the game, right at the very start of the first half, and at the very end of the second, he smashed it through the outstretched left glove of Patching, and it trickles over the line for Coventry United second. Points mean prizes and goals mean points. The ghosts of the FA Vars quickly extinguished by the Red and Greens. Their playoff push is firmly on the rails. Cameron Dunn keeping that train rolling. Coventry United lead by 2-0 just before the break. And straight from the kickoff, there's a long effort from the halfway line which went wide. Now the referee has called time on the first half here at the Master Abrasive Stadium. Goals in the 2nd minute and the 44th. Coventry United, an end-to-end team against Daventry Town, but plenty more action still to come here on Coventry United TV. Half-time score, Daventry Town 0, Coventry United 2. Second half about to start here at the Master Abrasive Stadium. Daventry Town 0. Coventry United 2. No changes at half time from what we can see. So as you were at the break, Coventry United now kicking from right to left in their red shirts with green and black lining. And in all purple, it's Daventry Town looking for a reprieve. After the break, it was a frantic start and finale to the first half. Goals in the second and 48th minutes. So watch out for the first few seconds in this one. You won't want to miss the next 45 minutes live on Coventry United TV. Referee checks that we're good to go. Linesmen are set. No one's snuck on any extra players. So let's get this second half underway here in Northamptonshire. Coventry United leading by 2-0. Can they see it through to the death? It's one in the air by Cody Mullen from the launch back. Faulkner runs into trouble. Through ball towards Yeboah. Will it be Daventry who make a lightning start? Yeboah twisting and turning in the area. And blasted against him by Danny Fraser. Somehow kept in. And it's high cross from Corey Burke. It stayed in, and now Hones keeps it alive for Daventry. Low drive into the air from Iachafano. Nothing that Charlie Faulkner can't deal with. And now Benjiano Marco is striding towards the ball, but Patching will bring it under control on the edge of his penalty area. The referee giving the 6-second countdown. The ball bounces over Carter Price. Faulkner trying to stand firm against Buckby. Eventually is out-muscled by Reese Hones. And the reaction from Harry Sawyer throwing Hones to the ground will result in a free kick for the home side. Goalkeeper Lewis Patching offering his words of wisdom. Chance to send it into the danger zone for Archie May. It's in by May. Brought down the edge of the area. Knight looking to block Chris Cox from clearing. Referee says nothing doing as Cox was taken out. Back to the goalkeeper from Adam Print. But now the referee has halted the game with the ball in the grasp of Patching. And the referee just separating the two sets of players. And I think he has now called it back for a very, very belated free kick, has he? Indeed he has. Good 5 seconds after the initial infraction. Chris Cox getting a little bit of stick from the touchlines. Nothing that he can't handle, of course. He's taking his fair share in his time. It's more towards Adam Marco. Leaping header made by the centre-back, Dan Childs. Childs up again. Price bounces past Cody Mullen. Fraser looking for an option. Once again, Childs in on the action. Followed down the right-hand side by Cody Mullen, and Cameron Dunn will do his best to get there. Iachafano's got to get this right, and he's got it very right. Very right indeed. A couple of dummies on Cameron Dunn to let it trickle over the line for the goal kick. And there's been another goal in Merseyside, and Everton now 2-0 up through Keenan Dewsbury Hall. No other goals in the Premier League. Bournemouth, Brentford, Leeds, Sunderland and Wolves, Liverpool all remaining scoreless. Patching away from the goal kick. Charlie Faulkner returns to sender straight out for another one. Brought the ball down and just hoofed it along the right touchline. What a first half it was for Aylestone Park. We only looked away for about 5 minutes, and they are 4-0 up at home to Yaxley. They kicked off at 8 o'clock. Elsewhere, it's got Manchester 1, Newport Pagnell 0, Leicester Nevada and Bugbrook. We haven't got scored on that one just yet. And Lutterworth now behind at home to Aviston. Here's Dunn. Adam Marco touches it towards his near side and just unable to bring it under control before it rolls out. And it's a quick throw-in taken towards Burke. Cameron Dunn towards the defence, and Adam Marco avoids the slide. Referee gives advantage, and Faulkner tried to launch it. Someone must have doused his boots in clover. Yaboa, who had a quiet first half, except for a bit of jockeying with Cody Mullen on the corners. And Mullen again getting involved. The slide from the former Nuneaton centre takes it out for the throw-in halfway into Coventry territory. Referee undecided on which way to give it for a moment. Iachafano gets it back. It's a high lofted cross from Tommy Iachafano. Burke trying to turn and shoot. Doesn't get that chance fast to Chris Cox. Price drives it into the path of Mullen, who's having another strong afternoon. And wrestled over for a throw-in only. Mullen thinks it was a tad forceful. It was certainly powerful. And that will be a free kick. As Charlie Faulkner caught on the heel by a lunging Carter Price. The referee losing control momentarily, but now is trying to calm things down as Faulkner is still in need of some help, and it's a yellow card for Price, and the physio is called on. Faulkner still receiving treatment from the head of fitness and physio, Lucy Stead. For Coventry United, if he can't continue, the most attacking option would be that of Joe Cairns. But they could easily push Lewis Wilson or Cameron Dunn a little further afield and bring on the likes of Downs, Devoyle or Adegoke, possibly Charlie Shaw, although United aren't keen on using him tonight. Faulkner back on his feet. And Coventry United will get things started again. He's not been asked to leave the field, which is unusual after receiving treatment. Now Dan Moore given the go-ahead to restart the game. We've had 8 minutes of the second half. Still 2-0 to the Red and Greens. It's launched towards Lewis Wilson. And bounces straight out for the Coventry United corner off the head of Tom Iachafano. So still 2-0 as Cameron Dunn is set for the corner. He's already been at the heart of both Coventry United goals. Cameron Dunn, will he be the centrepiece of a third? It's towards that near post from Ryan Harkin. Won't get the chance to strike. Headed back in by Charlie Faulkner onto the roof of the net. I think it was more of a attempt at a pass from Faulkner, but it's had hearts in mouths. Patching, get some distance on that one. Too much distance in the end. The bounce actually hits assistant manager Luke Morton flush in the gob. He's taking a few blows to the head in his non-league career. That certainly won't cause any undue effects. Adam Marco slid it down the right, and the offside flag is up. against Ryan Harkin, who for the last 2 match days has been really marked out of the game. Harkin still in search of his 30th goal in all competitions for Coventry United this season. Patching once more. Leaping above the rest is Palmer. Couldn't make the required contact. Price. Now Iachafano. Bell's waiting on the area. Doesn't reach him thanks to the head of Danny Fraser. Volley from midfield by Cameron Dunn. Knight's header straight back to Charlie Faulkner, who's shoulder to shoulder. Rolls behind Wilson. And back to the keeper by Lloyd Buckby. Hones, all hand in the back from Harry Sawyer. There's nothing doing. Palmer. Another headed clearance from Knight on the fringe of the box. Here's Fump towards Yeboah. Is it going to be close enough to Dan Moore? Just marginal for the red and greens, but Dunn doing enough. And it's back with his opposite number 1 in Patching. Coventry United have rode their luck at times tonight, but they are comfortably in front by 2-0. Patching again down the middle, unchallenged header by Shea Palmer. Bounces over the head of Ryan Harkin. Prints it onto the head of Cody Mullen. That one was coming down with some snow on it. It was that high. And bounces into the red and green army. A throw in on the halfway line to Coventry United. Mullen offering the short option, but Fraser wants to go further afield. Adam Marco juggled on. Faulkner dink through for Cameron Dunn. Right side of the area, Cameron Dunn not as successful as his previous effort. And there's been a goal in Yorkshire. Leeds 0, Sunderland 1. A Diarra penalty, putting the Black Cats in front. And the next time we're on air here on CUTV, this coming Saturday, we're back at the Roots Park Arena for the visit of God Manchester Rovers, who are currently 1-up at home to Newport Pagnell. That's a poor goal kick from Lewis Patching straight into the Hobbs stand on the far side of the field. The throw from Harry Sawyer. Coventry looking to build in the final third, but again, the ball retention is not at all 100%. And Yeboah stumbles behind Shea Palmer. Dan Moore collects for the red and greens. Flicked on with the head of Cameron Dunn, and Harkin looked to flick it through for Cameron Dunn. Couldn't take the spin off the ball, and it ends up back in the grateful grasp of Lewis Patching. Now attack with Iachafano. High one brought to feet by Sawyer, right back for Coventry. Mullen. And it's a throw in for the red and greens. Knight stretching. Faulkner looks for options, and he's going to leave it in fact for Harry Sawyer, who trudges up from right back. No sign of Coventry United changes just yet. As they lead by 2 goals, you have to think they may want to save their stars in what is going to be a long end to the season. The season set to finish on the 18th of April, and including tonight, they've still got 12 games left. Plenty of away matches curtailed this season, and of course still quite a few home matches after the sketchy start of the Roots Park Arena this season. May. Now Print. Burkling for Print. There was handball claims against Adam Print. They're falling on deaf ears. So it will be another throw-in just down line from the area for Daventry. Iachafano. Less said about that effort, the better. Struck it from a good 25 yards, and it was about 25 yards over the crossbar. That probably isn't going to reach the highlights, I've got to admit. Talking of the highlights, you can view them tomorrow night on the Coventry United TV YouTube channel. Coventry United YouTube channel CUTV, celebrating 10 years of broadcasting from our very first match at Addison back in 2016. So make sure to subscribe, youtube.com/@Coventry United. Please find all of your Coventry United footage this season. Mullen with a skewed volley to the right-hand side. Iachafano mops up for Daventry. It's a high cross towards Yeboah. And Dan Moore leaping above the number 9 to bring the ball to a safe stop. Rolls through a congested midfield to Charlie Faulkner. Shove from behind. And a free kick to Coventry United. Faulkner seemingly the target of quite a bit of Daventry attention. And there's the players seem to be unhappy about something on the pitch. I can't exactly see what they're unhappy about, but Shea Palmer's been given a yellow card for dissent. The free kick given in favour of Charlie Ford. Whether Coventry tried to take the free kick a little too quickly, I don't know, but it's a mystery to this commentator. And the free kick will now be taken. It has been a rather hot-headed fixture at the Master of Braces Stadium. Comes going to fire things up with a third goal. Fraser brings it down, and Cody Mullen with a venomous hit, inches wide. Patching, looking to the right from this goal kick. There's Patching. Yeboah's up for it. Loses out mid-air. Ends up back with Knight, the captain. Faulkner high into the sky. Wilson tries to bring it down. Wilson gets there ahead of May. Cameron Dunn, dispossessed by Print. And Anamarco wins it back beautifully. Benji Anamarco evades capture from Print. And the cross is in towards Ryan Harkin, prevented from reaching the top scorer by Knight. And Buckby trying to roll it into the path of May. And rolls it straight out for a throw-in in a less than desirable position for Daventry, level with their own penalty area. Can Coventry United make them pay for that mistake? Fraser. Not across the area by the defender and given away cheaply. Harkin stretched to make contact from Cameron Dunn's effort into the area. But no contact was made. It remains at 2-0 for now. And an equalising goal in the game between Manchester and Newport Pagnell. It's 1-1. The Swans getting back into it against Coventry's opposition on Saturday. Addison still 1 up at Lutterworth in the 64th minute. And Ayleston still 4-0 up against Yaxley. They've just started the second half there. It's a great header from the goal kick from Cameron Dunn. Harkin chases with Patching equal to it. 26 to go until full time. Coventry United in the driving seat. Mullen. Adamarco has to do it on his own. Clipped Carter Price, where he says nothing doing. Burke's ball to Yeboah, cut short by Danny Fraser. Awkward defending from Daventry, nearly playing them into danger. A combination of Dan Charles and Luke Knight failing to deal with it. They've seen it straight back to the goalkeeper, but not without some sweaty brows. Burks slide down the right-hand side is diverted out brilliantly by Danny Fraser. And there is activity on the Coventry United bench. Daventry trying to speed up play with the introduction of another match ball. Here's Print. Burks alongside. Adamarco got the touch. Burke keeps it alive. On this near side of the area, Daventry looking for a route in. They won't get it. Juggled and volleyed clear by Cameron Dunn. Faulkner, Harkin I should say, forced down from behind the halfway line. Revis has nothing doing. It's end to end at the moment, hard to keep up with. Knight stabs it away from Faulkner, intercepted by Mullen. Harkin stayed on side despite the appeals of Dan Childs. Harkin cutting in from the left-hand side and forces the corner to cross off the sternum of the Daventry number 5. Charlie Faulkner taking his time to get into position for the corner kick from the left wing. Cox and Palmer are up. Sawyer and Fraser stay back to cover off Josh Yeboah. Everyone else is in and around that danger zone. A third goal would be the clincher for Coventry United. Can they find it through Charlie Faulkner's corner? No, they can't. It's clear at the near post by Prince. Fraser fobs it towards Lewis Wilson. Harkin. Prince able to prize it away. Cameron Dunn flicks it behind Hones. Needs some help and gets it in Adamarco, who got the party started with the opening goal after just 2 minutes. Cameron Dunn, little body check from Knight, their skipper, and he's won the day. Little handshake between the two as Daventry play on. Burke caught Yeboah short with that fierce fizz down the right. And Dan Moore with some keepy-ups while he's waiting for Yeboah to close in on him. Seconds wasted for the Coventry United goalkeeper. I don't think I've ever seen that. You're waiting for the striker to put you under pressure and you're just there playing keepy-ups. Moore oozing confidence, and Ryan Harkin has forced the corner here. The kick from Dan Moore off the head, I think, of Knight. Straight out for a corner. Well, it's been anything but a boring game, but it's been a game which really is a bit of a muddle rather than a classy 90 minutes. And Coventry are getting their first change ready. It's Isaac Adigoke who's going to be coming on for his second Red and Greens appearance. Faulkner on set-piece duty once more. Bullen making himself available, clear the near post by Iachafano, out to Cameron Dunn. Does he fancy a second here? It's Cameron Dunn! Loves scoring against Daventry, but he won't get the second on this occasion. And the first change for the Red and Greens. It's the end of the afternoon for the scorer of the opening goal for the Red and Greens. He's set them on their way. Benji Adamarco's work is done. And Adamarco told to leave the field on this near side rather than on the far where the dugouts are. So Lewis Wilson will step up into attack alongside Brian Harkin. Adigoke will firm things up in central midfield. Fresh legs in the centre could do the trick for Coventry United to see this game home. His second appearance for the Red and Greens, the first coming 2 weeks ago in the game against Manchester, which Coventry United won by 3-1. An awkward pass back there to Luke Patching, able to bring it down with Harkin breathing down his neck. Hones. Space out wide for Print. It meets the right back. Faulkner's with him. Print forced to go alone. Attempts to cut back. Snatched away by Danny Fraser. Rolls it down the left. Childs ends the danger with Lewis Wilson lurking in the background. Dunn's header. May ensures that Harkin won't latch on to the seconds. Price. Ejafano playing a higher line as Daventry look for a solution to this red and green problem. Ejafano and Wilson tracks back to Denai Corcoran. Fraser smacks it off the number 7, formerly a Coventry United man way back when. Prince delivery, controlled by the knees of Lewis Wilson. Off the outside of the boot towards Ryan Harkin, and Harkin around Childs, but Childs had the positioning, covers off Harkin. And a quick throw from Childs, patching the goalkeeper. Here's Carter Price. Ejafano's in support, tries to go through the middle to Hones, too many back for Coventry. And now Harkin looking to beat Knight for pace, but Knight getting his toes to the ball, turning away from Harkin, ends that chapter. 20 to go here on CUTV, Daventry 0, Coventry 2. Print into the middle and Archie May Corcoran. It's Print cutting towards the area, headed up and away by Chris Cox, who bites the cherry. Here's Adegoke, who continued through the season with Rugby Town after training with Coventry United. He's got the throw in, drawing in the shove from Yeboah. And Daventry are preparing their opening change of the night. Dan Moore, who's had a quiet evening, just the way he likes it. Down the heart of the field. Wilson, beaten to the punch by Knight. Hones, Ejafano stretches back to connect with the ball. Now Hones. Ejafano with the overlap. Yeboah gives chase. Shea Palmer should deal with it. And Yeboah with a shove from behind. He was through down the left-hand side and he's frustrated to hear the whistle. The game's not flowed as much as it did in the first half. And on the right side of his box, Dan Moore will take the free kick. More towards Wilson. It's far too high for Wilson. Daventry are going to introduce their first alteration. And Yeboah is being hauled off with Tommy Crook taking his place. So Crook on for the remaining 17 minutes. So glancing header on by Buckby. Hones and Crook immediately getting in on the action, but Coventry United sprints away. Death ball into the middle for Cameron. Is it too short? Yes, it is. Prince steams in. Juggled back into midfield by Adegoke. And fancy feet keeping Daventry away from the ball. Who from the back, headed back to the keeper by Knight. Patching. Controlled by Corcoran. And a lasting blow from Cody Mullen. Referee calls back for the free kick, which is being taken slightly out of position here. Lewis Wilson told to stay up and look after the ball when it comes. Towering header by Cox from the free kick. Back to May. Price Straight to the feet of Fraser on the edge of the area. That's not the ball he was looking for, I'm certain. Ryan Harkin flicks that off the heel of Harkin after the block made by Print. Throwing just shy of the halfway line for Daventry, who again are enjoying a sustained period of pressure but doing little with it. Corey Burke forced into the corner and finds his way out of it, and immediately plays the cross behind the goal for the goal kick. Another couple of goals in the game between Ayleston Park and Yaxley. It's now Ayleston Park 5, Yaxley 1. Yaxley have got one back, but it's not going to mean an awful lot to them. And no further goals in the Premier League. Bournemouth 0, Brentford 0, Everton 2, Burnley 0, Leeds 0, Sunderland 1, and Wolves 0, Liverpool 0. It's half time at Molineux there. Kicked off at 8:15, so they'll be finishing long after we do here at the Master Abrasive Stadium. The throw is to Charlie Faulkner. Volley across by Mullen. Done. His header collected by Dan Childs. Now Crook. Looks like Corey Burke now playing as the central striker for Daventry Town. Hones looks for Burke. Flying in with another header is Chris Cox. Sawyer clears his lines for another throw-in for Daventry as the Purples look to try and imprint themselves on this match. Coventry taking the lead after just 80 seconds through a headed goal from Benji Anamarco, a rarity. And Adegoke sweeps in and snatches the loose ball from the throw. Sawyer tries to escape, but Archie May brings it back for Daventry and hope for Holmes as he races towards it down the left-hand side. Holmes gets the cross in. Ichafano's header. It was heading well wide. Another United change in the offing. Is that Charlie Shaw getting ready? I think it is. Coventry didn't really want to use him tonight, but they are bringing on the creative midfielder for the last 30 minutes, it appears. Here's the opposite number 16 in Tommy Crook. Holmes was ready for it, but a little nick from Sawyer takes it out of position, but now Holmes cutting in. It's Reece Holmes, still going, Reece Holmes. And the strike connects with Chris Cox. And Holmes again. His aim was off. Daventry 2 getting their second change ready. Could it be Holmes? Has the manager seen enough? "12 minutes until full time here on CUTV. Daventry Town 0, Coventry United 2. Goals from Benji Anamarco and Cameron Dunn either side of the first half, and it is definitely going to be Charlie Shaw who comes on for Coventry United. He's stripped off, and it's Lewis Wilson. United look like they're going to be going one up top, I should say. Wilson withdrawn after a strong shift. Started in defensive midfield, ended up front. Gets a standing ovation from his management team on his way off. Terry Anderson still not 100% satisfied with his red and greens lineup, but they are 2-2 the good and on their way to third place in the United Counties League Premier Division South. That's a neat little dummy from Harry Sawyer on Holmes. Stretches far enough to find Cody Mullen. Pulls it behind Cameron Dunn on the opposite wing. Harkin staying up. Harkin driving on. Shaw was there, but he didn't arrive in time before Print brought it back for the home side. Ichafano off the head of Burke. Finds the target with the Through ball, cut out by Shea Palmer. Knight. Now Childs, the centre-back duo for Daventry. Print. Towards the corner of the area. Burke beaten mid-air by Cox and slid to the right by Cody Mullen. Corcoran. Hones the Crook. Bounces into the path of Ryan Harkin. Slid down the right wing by Charlie Faulkner. Harkin runs into 3 purple shirts. Too much even for Harkin. Lofted ball off the head of Shea Palmer for Coventry United. Keeping things clean in defence. Now Faulkner. Harry Sawyer and Charlie Shaw is making the run. Charlie Shaw is actually being played up front. So he went through a impressive run of scoring for Coventry United. For a time, he was the top scorer under Terry Anderson. Of course, nowhere near Ryan Harkin in the complete scoring charts, but he made a fantastic start to life under the man he worked under at Highgate. Burke can only send it onto the head of Danny Fraser. Print. Ia Giafano battling with Fraser. Fraser stands firm and wins that one-on-one battle, curls it around Print for the Daventry throw-in. And Daventry's second change is afoot. And it's Archie May Corcoran, the former Coventry United man, taken off for Jackson Bedford. Just over 8 minutes to go at the Master Abrasive Stadium. It hasn't been a game full of chances and skill, but it could be 3 vital points for Coventry United in their quest for promotion and a real pick-me-up after the heartbreak of Saturday. Shaw. Through ball down the left. Knight tracks back and reaches it well before Harkin, and moves into the centre to try and cover off his escape. Crook. Sorry, it was actually Corey Burke who was withdrawn, not Corcoran. So Corcoran's still on the field. It was Corey Burke, the striker, who was taken off, and Reece Hones is now playing down the middle. So the third striking option for Daventry. The first 2 didn't quite work out. Here's May. Knight telling his players to shift upfield. Skins Mullen. Knight looking to do it all on his own. Sent right towards Print. Headed clearance by Dunn. Child's pass cut out by Cameron Dunn, and Charlie Faulkner through the legs. And now Cameron Dunn is onside. He was being played on by Print, and Patching sending himself straight into Cameron Dunn, then heading down injured. Daventry unhappy, but it was actually Patching who instigated the contact. Riley DeVoyle, the vice-captain, ready to make his introduction. And the physio for Daventry is called over, and United making the change. DeVoyle on for Charlie Faulkner. A good reply after a short appearance on Saturday. Positioning himself in the middle of the field. So United waste the most amount of time with the substitution. And Ejafana having more problem with his boots. He had a little bit of a delay in the first half. Well, it's full time at the Vitality Stadium. A ball draw between Bournemouth and Brentford, 0-0. In the 97th minute at Hill Dickinson Stadium, it's still 2-0 Everton through Tarkowski and Dewsbury Hall. And in the 98th minute at Ellen Road, Leeds 0, Sunderland 1. We've still got 35 minutes to go at Molineux, but it's 0-0 between Wolves and Liverpool. No further goals in the United Counties League Premier Division South as Faulkner finally makes his way off the field to be replaced by Ronnie Devoyle. Patching is patched up and able to continue. Elston Park 5, Yaxley 1, Godmanchester 1, Newport Pagnell 1 and Lutterworth 0, Averson Town 1. Patching to Knight from the free kick. May for Crook. Off the head of Harry Sawyer for a throw-in in front of the Daventry technical area. And Terry Anderson asking for a foul throw there as it was thrown one-armed to Archie May. Definitely not an attempt to actually throw the ball. And the slide by Knight allows Ryan Harkin. He's been started of opportunities. It's for his 30th goal of the season, but not with the usual conviction you expect from the Red and Green's top scorer. Substitution number 4 incoming for Coventry United. Joe Cairns going through his final warm-up. Firmly back in the fold after missing the majority of the season with that shoulder injury. Done. Told to keep him, but sends it down the left-hand side. No one home for Coventry. Harking putting Patching under pressure. He's got more height than distance on it. Done. Tripped on the way through by Lloyd Buckby. Coventry United free kick. 15 yards into enemy lines. And the ref just checking that Cameron Dunn is okay to continue. He's just shifting his shin pads about. And Buckby with a wry smile on his face. Ronnie Devoyle from the left-hand side with this free kick as Cairns awaits his introduction. It will wait until after this free kick and it's floated in by Devoyle, harking the target, nodded clear by Print, now Adegoke. Still Adegoke dancing away from the danger around him. Ryan Harkin takes it too close to Print. Not Harkin tonight so far. Bedford. Clearance collected by Shea Palmer and sent straight back out for a Daventry throw deep into their own turf. And Ryan Harkin withdrawn. Joe Cairns will go up front for the remainder of the game for the last 2 minutes and change. No goal for Harkin tonight, but he's played his part. So the throw from Print as Harkin makes his way back to the dugout. Patching looks left. A goal for Daventry could really put the cat amongst the pigeons in the closing stages. 90 seconds of normal time to go. And Crook won't reach that lofted punt from Price. Luke Downs, the only unused substitute for Coventry United. Their real strength in the last couple of months has been their squad depth. But players need to rest. The idea was to rest Downs and Charlie Shaw tonight. Shaw is on the field. But Downs is able to catch his breath tonight. Bedford loses out to Adegoke. Devoyle. Joe Cairns couldn't bring it to feet. As Harkin still making his way back to the dugout. It's a long old walk around the Master Abrasive Stadium. Adegoke trying to trick his way out of danger. It's ended up with the feet of Dan Childs at centre-back. Now Adam Print. Ichafano has swapped to right wing. Price. And a chance to deliver from the right-hand side for Print. It's over Holmes, headed up rather than out by Shea Palmer. Adegoke tried the header away, then tries the clearance. Neither of them worked. And the third time asking, he does get it away. Just over the boot of Joe Cairns there. That ball across the back from Archie May. Adam Print, now Ichafano. Who got the last touch on that one? It will be a Coventry United throw-in. I think Ichafano got a little spooked from spotting Danny Fraser in his peripheral vision. He's an intimidating player. The throw to Cox. Towards his opposite captain in Knight, but it's brought to feet by Corcoran. Now playing at left back. Corcoran through to Price, pirouettes around Charlie Shaw. Killed right for Print. Now here Ichafano. Print continues the run, but the return ball is covered off by Danny Fraser. Marshall towards this near side can only find Childs. Price. Now Corcoran. Bedford to Cook. Cook behind to Archie May Corcoran. Punted right by Price. Falls kindly for Print. And closing in on goal was Buck B. Dan Moore happy to wait for the ball to roll into his hands. We are now into added minutes here on CUTV. We've had 90 seconds of added time. Coventry United almost home and dry. The hard work done before the break. With their hands in the back of Adegoke there. Referee says no. May. Full spot where he came from by Cody Mullen into Knight, the captain. Flicks it right for Print. Daventry are far from disgraced themselves, but it's going to be a third consecutive defeat for the Purples. May. Knight, the skipper. Just kept in by Corcoran, was it? No. In fact, yes it was, with the last touch coming off Riley DeVoyle. So DeVoyle coming through to take the throw. I think has actually knocked it over the line. Hones leaping above him like a salmon is Shea Palmer. Cameron Dunn. Nodded into midfield by Joe Cairns. Coventry can go no further. Coming to the end of the third minute of added time. Knight trying to instigate from centre back. Here's Archie May trying to snatch away that clean sheet for Dan Moore. Harry Sawyer gets his body between player and ball. The referee says no. United thought the free kick had been given for a moment there. But it's cleared Kung Fu style by Danny Fraser. Spins after clearing it. Crouching Dragon, Hidden Fraser. Price. Here Ichafano, the target, headed into touch by Cameron Dunn. And we are now going to name our CUTV man of the match, and it is that man with the assist and the goal, Cameron Dunn. Looked dangerous every time he had the ball at his feet tonight. May. Adegoke stands in his way through to Tommy Crook. May for Reese Hones. Is there one last sting in the tail? Will there be hope for Daventry? Hones forced well back into the midfield. Knight. Space for Prince. He's found well. Off the arm of Cameron Dunn, but it was by the side. The cross put in and punched away. Moore taking no chances. The seconds will come back in. Moore sees it coming all the way. Brings it down. Referee checks the watch. We're not quite done yet. Moore distributes. Referee blows up. 3 points, Coventry United. They're back on track. Just the tonic Terry Anderson and his men needed. Benji had a marker after just 80 seconds, sending Coventry United on their way. Cameron Dunn eventually ending the contest in the 3rd minute of first half stoppage time. The second half was somewhat of a procession for both teams. But as Daventry taking a 3rd consecutive defeat, Coventry United rise back to 3rd in the United Counties League table. Full time at the Master Abrasive Stadium. Daventry Town 0, Coventry United 2. And that will do us here on CUTV for another evening. Coventry United getting the job done in Northamptonshire. We're back on Saturday for the game at home to Manchester Rovers, back at the Butts Park Arena. Please do join us if you can. Highlights will be available tomorrow night here in the CUTV YouTube channel. We'll see you then on Saturday. Thanks for joining us.